friends. Welcome back to a new knitting podcast episode, regular episode. Hi everyone, my name is Maria. I am a Romanian knitter who lives and knits or knit in Norway. Today it is Wednesday actually. It's June 18th and I thought it's a good moment to come and talk about the finished objects I have from my last video and what projects I have on my needles, what projects I decided to not finish and unravel because, yeah, sometimes can happen. So it is actually evening. It's almost 7 o'clock, actually 7:30, and I just took my son at school because they have like a reunion party because they are finishing the 10th grade. He will have an extra year because of the language. He needs a little bit more time, but his colleagues will go to high school. And yeah, so no fancy dresses today, just jeans, t-shirt, and something old because I like so much from time to time to come and wear something that I knit time ago and got a lot of wear, and I can give you a feedback. So this is a cardigan that I knitted last year. It is a pattern from Stitch in Sweden, and the name of the pattern it is linen cardi. I will link it below, and it is made with 2 strands of yarn, both from Isayer. One is alpaca one, which is a lace alpaca, and the other one I don't remember exactly if it is Vinny. It's not Vinny. There is another one. If I remember, I will put it on the screen. I've made size 3. The pattern has instruction that every, I don't know, maybe 10 rows, you have a garter stitch row, but I skipped that. I wanted just a stockinette stitch cardigan. I cannot tell you how much wear got this cardigan. It's unbelievable that it's still in one piece. I'm working at a kindergarten and I'm working with small and not so small children. So we are playing, we are running, we are sitting outside, we're going to the gym, and this is pulled in all directions possible. So I really didn't expect this yarn to hold so good. So trust this combo of yarn, it is worth it. I actually depilled this just once because it didn't need it. I mean, it is a little bit of peeling, but nothing out of the world. Yeah. So that's that, and the fit, it is wonderful. Of course, when I've made this, I had a couple of extra kilos that I don't have anymore. So yeah, but it's the construction. It's top down, but it has sort of satin sleeves. So you shape the sleeves with a lot of short rows, but it's totally worth it because the result it is wonderful. So I highly recommend this pattern if you are looking for just a basic little cardigan in stockinette stitch or with that garter stitch detail. Maria, because the name of the designer is Maria, she also has a knitting podcast here on YouTube. and it is called also Stitch in Sweden. She's very warm person and kind, and it's always a pleasure to listen to her talking about her needs and her projects in general. Yeah, so I highly recommend this pattern if you are looking for a great fit. Of course, there are a couple of modifications, but I don't think I will go into it now. But I will try to link below if I remember which episode I'm talking about this cardigan. So that's that. Well, let's start with finished objects. So after the last knitting podcast, I've made another 2 videos. One for the Dagmar sweater that I won't talk about today. If you want, you can check that video. I know it was not the cup of tea of everybody, but that's that. So I finished the Dagmar sweater and BB cardigan finally, and I could not be more happy with both of the garments. As always, this is happening every time I'm finishing a project. I have doubts about the color I chose, but that's okay. As always, I'm telling myself that's okay. Next time you will make something else in the color you thought it would have been better. But I guess it's just neater insecurities. I'm sure I'm not the only one feeling this way. But I have 3 more finished objects since the last knitting regular podcast episode. And I think I have 10 or 11 projects on my needles. However, I will only talk about those that they got some attention from me. So I'm not talking about all of them. And I will start with my finished objects because it is also related, one of them, with this piece I'm working now. It's actually a test knit. So I've made a test knit in May. Yeah, in May month. So I saw, I don't remember if I talked about it. I think I talked about this in my previous episode. I apologize if I give you the wrong information. However, I test knitted this vest. The pattern name is Fresno round neck vest. I test knitted this for Knitonomy or Magdalena Parker. And I've used 100% Icelandic wool. I've used, from Istex, Fialalopi. Yeah, so Fialalopi, it is, technically it's a sport yarn, but it behaves at least as a DK. And it is the brother or the sister for the Letlopi. Letlopi is much thicker. So I've made, if I remember correctly, but I will link also my Ravelry page, because this is on my Ravelry and with all the details and color code and how much yarn I've used. Actually, I've used very little, maybe I think 230 grams. Yeah, it is a top-down construction. It has this simple, time-consuming, otherwise, cable. I think this was over 6 stitches or 8 stitches. I don't remember, guys, exactly. I think 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think 10 stitches. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, it's simple. I asked the designer if I can make this a little bit more cropped, and if I can make a little bit different neckline, because neckline in the pattern, it is a folded, double folded neckline. In the pattern, you work more rows, but that does not work for me. Um, Size 3, it is supposed to have a finished bust circumference of 103 centimeters. And I've made a mistake because last time I measured my bust months ago, I had 106 centimeters. And after I finished this vest, I thought, this does not have negative ease. What's happening? I measured the garment and I had the exact measurement from the pattern. And I thought, what is wrong? And I measured my bust and I had 103 centimeters. So I lost 3 centimeters, and this is not having negative ease. So it's just around my body. It is nice. I don't mind. But I noticed I'm not a super fan of this type of vest. I mean, no, this is not well explained. I like very much this type of vest. What I do like and wish in the future when making this type of vest is to make to shape better and to the vest. I don't like to the vest finished right where my arm starts. I will like it more, oh God, what is the word, more smaller, with more shaping here. I think you understand what I'm trying to say, and my English is failing me so bad. Yeah, so yes, I would love to start with less stitches and to have the shoulder actually not like a drop shoulder, you know. Yeah, this is my wish in the future. But however, I really love this project. I mean, I think I got a wonderful wonderful final product. Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. And Autonomy, or Magdalena Parker, has such a well written knitting patterns. I think you can make it even if your knitting experience is not that much. Yeah, she explains the things in a way that makes it simple to work through the pattern. Yeah, so this is the Fresno round v-neck vest. Yeah, I enjoy this pattern. What I don't enjoy with test knitting, and this is one of the reasons I don't usually want to test knit, it's the deadline. And joke aside about a deadline, this word, when you are not such a good English speaker like I am. I remember that I've made an episode last year, I don't remember which one, and I think I was test knitting this cardigan for Stitch in Sweden. Not this one, this is my second one. I made another one before with linen yarn, and I don't have it anymore because I didn't like how the yarn behaved after washing and wearing. And I remember I talked about it, about a deadline, but instead of deadline, I've said due date. Yeah, so yeah, that's funny. So this is my first finished object. I really like this. And guys, if you decide to work with this yarn, please be prepared to have an extremely warm garment. I mean, this is it's sports DK yarn, but it's 100% Icelandic wool, and this wool, it's very special. It's very warm, and uh, this vest having these chunky cables makes it much warmer. You know, it's the feeling that you really have something very thick on you. Yeah, it's a very nice project. I'm very happy with the final result. However, side note for myself, in the future when I will make a vest and I want to make my own knitting pattern vest, I will, yeah, shape it more and more and more, according to my personal preference. Yeah, so this is the first finished object, and I think this color will be just amazing in the autumn. Yeah, so this is my first finished object. I really joy, and yeah, I really like to um, work this for Magdalena or Knitonomy. I think I've said everything with this. If I forgot to say something that you wanted to know, please just ask me and I will be more than happy to answer you. Okay, let's see my next finished project. It is actually my sweater. Remember that I've made a couple of videos, not that great videos, about my sweater, and I wanted to show you that it is finished, and already I've worn this even yesterday, um, a lot, guys. I've worn this a lot, and this is another yarn that when you choose it, you need to think very well, because guys, this is very warm. I mean, I got it yesterday. Of course, it is summer all over, almost, at least in this hemisphere, yeah. But as summer in Norway, it's not the usual summer. So right now there are like 11 degrees Celsius degrees, which is not cold, of course. I mean, 11, it feels different than 11 feels in my own country. So it feels warmer. It's also a very high humidity, so that's that. But yesterday I got this. Of course, I didn't wear a jacket over, or just this one, because it was very windy and the wind was a little bit cold. But inside, I was toasting myself. It was very warm. So this is made with knitting for olive heavy merino, and I want to make another garment using this yarn, because I'm not sure, it never happened to me. I'm not sure if this sweater felt it a little bit with washing, because something strange happened. And again, I'm repeating myself, I always wash every hand knit in the washing machine. At the wool program, I don't use detergent or something. And when my washing machine program finished and I opened to take out the sweater and lay it on the floor, it has a lot of water in it. And I thought, what's happening here? And I spin cycle just, I don't know, 15 seconds just to take out the water. But it's not that little spin that I think, actually, I'm not sure if this is felted because I have never had a felted garment before. So I have nothing else to compare. Or maybe it's just the fabric that it's so dense. I've made this with 4.5 millimeter needles, but I think this yarn you can work so easy with at least 5, if not even 5.5. So it's blooming with washing. When you knit with this yarn, the yarn has a very dry feeling when you knit with the yarn, which I personally enjoy so much. But I know not everybody likes this. And after washing, I wouldn't say this is soft. It feels rustic, which again, for me, it's absolutely no problem. But it doesn't feel, it feels that it is, actually it is a merino wool, but it feels more like a like a rustic wool. But it's, for me, it's perfect. Anyway, I finished this sweater. I could not be more happy with it. Yeah. I got so many messages on Instagram about this sweater, and I hope I was smart enough to put some pictures or a b-roll here with me wearing this. Um, Everybody was asking if I will make a pattern of it. It's hard to say. I posted on Instagram a few days ago about it, because I'm actually making also a cardigan for myself, and I want to make a vest using the same stitch pattern. And it's not easy. First of all, I am not a designer, and for me to make something for somebody else's body means that I don't know how designers are grading, but my brain, it's not working like that. So if I want to make another size for this sweater, I need to make it for a specific person. So I asked I asked the people who offered to so kindly to test knit this sweater. I asked them all the measurements. I mean, not only circumference bust. I asked for uh, how much from shoulder to shoulder. I asked for the arm circumference. I asked for the waist and the hips. Because I don't know how to do this. I mean, I graded before patterns for babies, for children, but it's a whole difference. I mean, it's not the same thing. And the bodies of the children, they don't, I mean, it's not like they are the same, but it's, there are not so many differences. But when we talk about an adult body, especially a woman body, we have so many shapes. And yeah, I just don't know. I just thought about it these days, and I thought, how can I make, because this sweater is working for me. I've made it for my own body, and I tried this sweater, I think, 100 times until I finished. And every step I took with this sweater, it was all about my shape of body and what I needed this sweater to be. And that's not working for everybody. And I thought, you know what, I'm I'm in a very weird position if I'm deciding to make this sweater pattern. Not that I am able to do this, I repeat myself, but I know me, and I'm the kind of knitter, if I'm sharing something with somebody, I want that somebody to be extremely happy with what I give. So what if I am not able to do this? What if I am not able to recreate another size that will fit another body as this one fits me? So that this is a very huge problem mentally for me. And then I thought, what can I do with the plus sizes? Because I don't see myself making this sweater just adding some numbers for the plus sizes, because I know it won't sit right on that body. And then I thought, you know what? I can make, I don't know, three, four sizes like this one, I mean, drop shoulder. And then I can make another pattern if I am able, of course. But for plus sizes, I need to think a project by pieces, because I think that will work the best for other sizes and other shapes of a body. So I'm quite in a strange position, because first of all, I never took in consideration actually to make this a pattern, or at least not making more sizes. I thought at some point, okay, I can write this pattern and upload it on my Ravelry. It's one size, it's made for me. If anybody else thinks that, oh, okay, these are my measurements, I could try this on, okay. So it's a lot of thinking. When I've made this sweater, indeed, I wrote everything, every step I made with this pattern. Yeah, we shall see. Another problem is the test knit. I mean, who am I so people want to test knit? I mean, who so kindly, like the people that already contact me, will invest the time in a project that we don't even know if it will be out there in the world. I don't know. I'm not sure. At this point, I'm not sure, of course. And then, who's gonna help me to tech edit this? I mean, you need a tech editor, right? And how much it will cost this, and I can afford this. There are a lot of questions, you know, and I don't even know what program to use to create the charts. I have a program that I spend a lot of money for it years ago, that allows me to make color work charts. And I have the option to make also cable charts. But the fact is that the symbols are very rounded and a little bit weird. And I've tried one time to make a chart for another garment for myself, and you couldn't understand. There were just like, you know, and they, yeah, anyway. So I need to find a program, if possible, for free. If not, I need to pay for it, of course. But a good one, so I can create a chart, and the back and the creases and the front and so on. Yeah, this is my, I'm sorry for such a long discussion about this sweater, but yeah, that's that. So I'm hoping that this summer I will be able to write at least one size down, this one, and one size up my size, because there are there are no two ladies who wants to knit this, and one lady wants to knit a cardigan. So we shall see. Yeah, but this is my sweater. It does not have a name because I never thought to make this pattern. I've said initially that I will think about it, how to share with who wants to make it. Yeah, it is a cropped one, and I had 11 balls of knitting for olive heavy merino, and I found just two, so I might have used 9. I need to check the weight of this sweater. Yeah, but I'm very happy with the fit, and I have to say that I love so much how I make this. Um, Not the neckline. The neckline has short rows. I already talked about it, but the fact that it's a lower front, and for me it works so well, so well. But it's a little bit messy because there are a lot of decreases. Sometimes there is one stitch, sometimes there are 2 stitches, so I can create this thing. So again, and I've made, I explained all the decreases, but I have this obsession when making sweaters. For me, it's very important how they will look after picking up the stitches and making the neckline. So I've tried to have the neatest thing possible, and yeah, it's weird. Anyway, I won't talk about it. I promise, more than that. So yeah, this is my sweater that love. I love. I am even thinking to make another one at some point, but I think I would love to use this time Luna from Hillesvåg. And yeah, I'm curious to see how it will look in that yarn. Yes, this is my second finished object, and I have another one that I just finished the other days and got dry this morning. It was yeah, so I don't know if I mentioned in my last regular knitting podcast episode that I saw a pattern from Shetland wool that it's called Fairag cardigan. I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. And it's a lace with a little bit of cabling cardigan. Ta-da! I've made the beauty, guys. And because I was talking about cover the microphone. Okay, let's do this again. Hi again. This is the next day because I was filming yesterday and the second part of the video had no sound. So here I am again trying to finish this video. It is actually very early in the morning. It's 6:30 and I have like 1 hour before going somewhere. So I will continue from where my sound was cut. I was talking about my last finished object, and yes, it is the Fairag cardigan by Shetland wool. Now let's talk first about the yarn I was using for this project. So I've used for the first time Isair Eco Baby. Now, this yarn, it is 80% baby alpaca. No, it's 68% baby alpaca and 32% organic cotton. As I've said, it was my first time knitting with this yarn, and this yarn is very special in a sense that this yarn does whatever this yarn wants to do. It's not behaving like other yarns. This pattern comes with instructions for fingering, weight yarn, and decay. I've made the decay version, size 2, comes with more sizes. Now, as a construction, this is a bottom-up construction. So you cast on the stitches for the body, back and front together. You do first this 2x2 ribbing hem, and then you work some repeats of a chart. The chart is 20 and something rows, and it has an 11 stitch lace panel followed by this simple 6 stitches cable. This is a very beautiful pattern. However, I got into trouble with this cardigan, but not because of the pattern, but because of my yarn. So, as I've said, you start bottom up, and once you reach the underarm, you work the parts separately. I mean, the back separately and the front separately. There are some decreases that are happening to shape this neckline. I've done all that. By the time I joined the parts at the shoulder, I tried on the cardigan and it was so cropped. I mean, technically, I've worked enough length in the body to have a cropped cardigan. But actually, after finishing and trying on, it was so short. It was more like a bolero. And I thought, what is going on here? And part of it was the yarn, because the yarn, it kind of cinched the fabric. And also, it was my first time blocking a garment before finishing, just because I wanted to see how this will behave, if it will grow or not, if I need to change something or not. And I know, you know that if you have been on this channel before, you know that I don't gauge swatch. And maybe some of you will think, well, this is happening because you didn't gauge swatch, you didn't wash the swatch, and maybe you would have seen that the yarn behaves differently. I don't believe this, because the swatch is a small piece. The garment, it is a different thing that will behave differently. So I washed this, and surprise, surprise, this didn't grow not even half centimeter, not even a quarter of centimeter, nothing at all. So if you are in a search of a yarn that does not grow, well, maybe this is an option, Isayer Eco Baby. And I was so disappointed because it was not the fact that I need to fix the problem. It was the fact that the problem was difficult to fix because it is a bottom-up construction. So you cannot just unravel the hem and add length. I had to cut the hem, and it was very difficult because I wanted to cut right under my first lace row. And it was tricky, I'm not gonna lie. You might hear my stomach. I hope it's not passing my microphone, the sound, the noise. And I've said, okay, I will try to cut this, but to not ruin the first row of the lace. I did it. I had to manually unravel the yarn because, again, it's not like you pull the yarn and it will unravel. The yarn, it is somehow in between and in the stitch, so I had to use a needle thread to take out every stitch. And then I added another chart repeat. Now, when you work bottom up, this leaf lace motif has a different direction, and when I needed to add length, I needed to add length from top down, which means that my motif, it is upside down, but it's not visible. Well, it is for me because I know this, but it's not actually visible. So I added this extra chart repeat, and I've made the hem a little bit longer than it was initially. So that was such a work to do. But I knew if I don't do this, I cannot wear this. Now, in terms of modifications, of course, I've made some. First of all, I've added double knitted neckline. I guess now it's almost boring because I'm always saying this. I modified, I've done a double knitted neckline, but I did. And a little bit of short rows. I could have made this a little bit smaller because it is a little bit wider at the neck, but that's okay. It's fine. And of course, I've added a double knitted bottom band. I will put a video with me trying this when working the first sleeve. Now, talking about sleeves, there are two options in the pattern. One is to pick up stitches along the opening arm and work like edge in 2x2 ribbing. So there is no lace on the sleeve for this version of the sleeve, and there is instructions for another option. You cast on stitches and work the sleeve bottom up, and then you stitch together with opening arm. And I thought, you know what, the first version I don't want because I want a little bit of lace also on the sleeve. The second version, I didn't want to make it because I thought, why to stress to stitch the stitches together? And I took a moment to think about this pattern, and I've decided that I will pick up stitches along the opening arm, but I will pick up the same stitches as I am supposed to work just the 2x2 ribbing, and work the lace chart that is given when you work the sleeve bottom up, which again, in my case, it's upside down because I did it top down, but that's okay. So I cast on the number of stitches that, again, I was supposed to cast on to pick up when working just this hem. And I've made the lace chart, but before of that, I thought, how can I incorporate this to look nice? And after I pick up stitches, I count my stitches, and I decided, because on my sleeve I have three lace panels. And I decided to place one of the lace panels right where the front meets the back. And because there were 11 stitches in the panel, I have like 5 stitches in one side and 6 in the other side. And then on each side of the lace panel, I've added the repeat that it was supposed to be. So cable and again lace and again cable on each side. And here at the underarm, I don't know if you can see, there is this knit stitch panel that intentionally I leave it this way. I could have done another lace motif here, but I would have still had some knit stitches, and I thought, you know what, I will leave this just like this and I will decrease, because it's much easier to decrease, of course, in stockinette stitch panel and then to make the decreases in the lace panel. And it worked so fine. And I think I've decreased the number until I had the number of stitches I should have had if I would have worked the sleeve bottom up. I don't know if this makes sense, but that's what I have done and I love it. I cannot try this now, but the sleeve, it comes just up the elbow. So I really like how this turned out. I will show you also the back. Yeah, I really like this. I'm checking the microphone. Okay, third try, because again I ran out of sound. I don't know what's happening with this microphone, but something is wrong. Okay, so I was talking about Feyrag cardigan. I talk about the modifications I've made to this pattern, and yeah, it's done. It needs buttons, and I know that this is a pattern I will make again because it's so nice. But I'm sure next time I will try to make it with wool. But it's nice to have it. I'm sure I will, at least I hope I will wear this this summer. Yeah, I'm not convinced if this is my color. I try this on with a dress. I will try to put a b-roll here. And I liked how it looked with that dress, but we shall see. Yeah, this was my last finished object. Now I will talk about what I have on my needles, but I will try to talk about first the projects I don't have anymore. So one of the projects I decided to not continue to work is the Milk Stout cardigan by Thea Coleman. And the reason was the yarn. It was made in, I was working that in Peer Gynt and alpaca folgetröt, which is lace alpaca, so together these two. And I didn't like how it looked. Peer Gynt, it is a very wonderful yarn, but it's not the yarn I like. It's very rounded, and that gave me a lot of problems considering the amount of 1 by 1 ribbing that that pattern has in it. And I've said, you know what, I don't enjoy this. I love the look of the cardigan and I will make it again. And I've already thought when I come back from my summer holiday to buy some Aroma Fivel. It's the same yarn I've made the Dagmar sweater. And I think that yarn, yeah, I think that it will be a better option for that pattern. So that's the Milkstot cardigan. It's not on my needles anymore. Another project that is not on my needles anymore, it is the Fleur sweater by Sunny's Garn that I was crocheting the motifs with red. I decided that I'm not ready for a red sweater. However, I didn't abandon the idea of having that sweater. But I just need a little bit of more time to figure out what is the best yarn option for me and that project. Okay, guys, this is already ridiculous. For a try, I just took out my other cardigan because I felt so warm. I don't know what's happening. I didn't have space on my phone. I cleaned the space. Yeah, it's just, eh, maybe this episode is not meant to be. Okay, so I was saying that another cardigan that I decided to not continue now, it's from a Norwegian designer. I will put it on the screen, the name and the picture, because I don't remember exactly the name of the project. And as you can see, I have my lace cardigan on me without buttons. Okay. What else? So I've said about Milkstot cardigan, the floor sweater by Sunnes Garn, and this broken rib cardigan. I don't remember if there are more. I'm not willing to finish. Now let's talk about works in progress. So after I've made my self-draft cardigan, not cardigan, sweater, I decided to make a cardigan also. And this is my work over a week. I've started a top down, and I'm actually stopped after joining the parts, the fronts with the back. I've made like 5 centimeters on the body and decided to work the first sleeve. Now, about the yarn I'm using, this is Hillesvåg Ask. This is a sport weight yarn. It come in hanks of 100 grams, and it has 350 meters, so it's sport weight. And this is the color 316089, this beautiful green. I have 400 grams in total. I am already using my second hank. I will have enough, I'm sure. Now, regarding the sleeves, I decided to make short rows on the sleeve and decreases, things that I don't have on the sweater version. Now, I don't think it was the best decision to make short rows because the shoulder, it is a little bit dropping, so maybe it's not the best doing short rows unless the sleeve stop right here, the shoulder, and right way you start the sleeve. We shall see. I also thought to make one sleeve with short rows and one sleeve without short rows to see which works best. But I don't know if I want to come back and redo one of the sleeves. I just need to think about it. But for the moment, I'm trying to finish the sleeve. Actually, I've finished with all the decreases, so I just need to repeat the cable panel probably another 2 times, and then I will make a double knitted cuff, and then I will come back and finish the body. I'm planning to make also a double knitted hem and of course bottom bands. I've done already the neckline in my already boring double knitted uh, neckline, just because I find that it's looking better when trying on to see the sleeve. If you have worked also the neckline, it's looking different. Um, yes, I don't have that much to say about it. It's still a work in progress. I think I will take this with me on holiday. It will be one of the projects I will work, and hopefully I will make progress until coming back in Norway, which will be at the end of July. So a couple of weeks. I'm sure my knitting time will be more limited, but it's good to have it just in case I have the time to knit more. I need to take my camera. It's grabbing. It's grabbing. Okay. My next work in progress, actually, I just started this, I think, 2 evenings ago. It is another test knit, also for the same designer. I test knitted the Fresno round neck vest. This time I am test knitting a t-shirt, a tee, short sleeve garment, and I'm just at the beginning. Actually, I need to work like I think 4 more chart repeats before starting to increase again, but this time for the armpit. Now this is the same cable as on the vest and on my next project, but it's at a smaller scale, and it's beautiful, but at the same time it is very time consuming because you need to make cables on every right side row with 3mm needles, because you are using I am using a fingering weight yarn, and it's actually not the yarn I thought, but the yarn I ordered came later than expected. So I went to the store and got 200 grams of Isayer Marilyn, and this is 80% wool and 20% flax. It's very nice to work with. Now I decided to make size 2 for this tee, which will give me a little bit of negative ease. I hope I made the good choice of the size. We shall see. I really want to have this garment. I hope I'm not ending up gifting this because it won't fit me. Although I lost weight, I'm still not a small size. I mean, yeah, I have bust, I have, yeah, everybody else. I have what everybody else has. Yeah, not that much to say for the moment. I'm just hoping to end up with a garment that I loved. I'm a little bit stressed about the deadline because it is somewhere July, I think mid-July, not sure. I need to ask one more time, and I hope to do my part and my best to have this finished until the test knit is ending, so I can give my feedback to the designer. This is a pattern by, again, Knitonomy or Magdalena Parker, and this is my second time test knitting for her. Okay, let's put this aside. Another project that got a lot of attention, actually I'm very close to finish, is from the same designer. This is not a test knit, this is a pattern I brought from her, and it's the Fresno cardigan chunky edition. And this was a lot of work, I have to say. This was a lot of work. First of all, I'm using for this, I'm using Isayer Aran tweed. It's the same yarn that I used for the cardigan I was wearing earlier, the Sibylla cardigan by the Cookie the Knitter. But that one is in black, this one is in this green. I had 700 grams, and I am at my last 200 grams. Actually, here I have around 50 and here 100. I need to finish the second sleeve. I've done all the decreases I needed. Now I just need to repeat a couple of more times the chart for the cables and then to make my cuffs. I'm doing size 1 based on my experience with the Sibylla cardigan I was wearing earlier. For that, for that cardigan, I've made size 2, not knowing how this yarn will behave. This yarn is growing a lot. My Sibylla cardigan, what I was wearing. Microphone problems again. So I was saying that my Sibylla cardigan, even if I made size 2, and it was very good when starting to wearing, now has grown a lot, and it would have been perfect to make size 1, but at the time I didn't know. So I went with size 1 for this one, hoping and knowing how much it grows, I will end up with a cardigan that I won't think, oh, so bad I didn't size down one size. I've made a couple of modifications. First, again, my boring double knitted neckband, because I will put a picture. I don't like how the neckline is looking at the original pattern at the back. And then I will make, of course, a wide double knitted band, bottom band in double knitting. And another modification I've made, I've made decreases on the sleeve. I don't know how it is with the sleeve for the other sizes, but for size 1, there are not decreases. At least not until you start the cuff, because once you need to work the cuff, then you rapidly decrease on that row more than 20 stitches. And again, having the experience with this yarn in another chunky cardigan, I knew this will grow, and I decided to make decreases. I will obsessively check my microphone, I'm sorry. So I don't know if you can see, it is a little bit messy because, yeah, I decreased like 16 stitches and I still have to decrease 10 stitches on the row before starting the cuff, and I'm quite happy with the fit so far. And I'm sure washing and blocking will give me what I need. At least this is my hope. So yeah, I wanted so much to finish this until I go on my vacation, but that's okay. If I don't manage to do this, I can finish when I will come back. I'm not taking this with me because it's voluminous and it's not making sense. I can finish when I come back home. And anyway, I'm very close to finish. I mean, what was intensive as work just passed. I think so. This is a top-down project with technically a drop shoulder. It is recommended to be worn with at least 15 centimeters of positive ease, if not more. I decided to not make oversized version because this is already heavy and it's just size 1. What I do like in the pattern is that the designer suggests that if you are making a smaller size like I am doing, a more fitted size, to work short rows, and I've done that. And I have to say that the sleeve is looking very, very good having short rows. Yes, I think that's all I have to say about this project. Still a work in progress, but considering that in my last regular knitting podcast episode, I was just starting to work the body. I was just joined the parts. Yeah, I think the progress is amazing considering the amount of work I've done to other projects. Okay, my next work in progress, it's something I've started actually, I think yesterday in the morning. And I've started with the yarn that I was supposed to use at this test knit. So a week ago, I ordered some knitting for Olive cotton merino. This is the first time I'm using this yarn from Knitting for Olive, and I love it so far. It feels a little bit strange because I'm working this project with 3.5 millimeter needles, and this is such a light fingering. And I was a little bit afraid about how my stitches will look, but I think I've done a decent job so far. This is a new to me designer, and her name is Mir Knits. I think she's Korean, I'm not sure. And the name of the pattern is Bonbon Cardi. I will put a picture on the screen also. It is a top-down lace cardigan. You can do sleeves like I have here at this length, or you can do long sleeves. I think I will go with a short sleeve for the moment, and I know this is a pattern I will make it again, and it has somehow like set in sleeves, which will be very interesting to make for a better fit. I'm knitting size 3 in the pattern, yeah, which has just my circumference 103 centimeter, I think. And the color of this Knitting for Olive cotton merino is powder. I think the number is 99-247. It's this beautiful light, just a hint of pink beige. It's very beautiful. I'm fascinated about this color, and it will be so nice to have this in my wardrobe. Yeah, so this is I consider this a new gem that I saw and wanted to knit immediately. Yeah, so not that much to say about it first. It's just, it's so enjoyable. I love it. But yeah, I have to prioritize what I am working, right? Um, Now I will show you another work in progress, another project that you didn't saw here. I will put also, I hope I still have the little video to put a b-roll on the screen. So I went again to Hillesvåg to buy some yarn for somebody in Romania and to send it. And there I saw a sample of a sweater, color work sample. And that's the beauty when you find samples in the store and they are almost your size, you can try them on. Because, for example, this sweater is something I never thought to knit. But I don't know, I tried that and I had a dress that day and I thought, you know, this is looking so good over a dress. And I decided to make it. First of all, I had to buy the book. Taking the microphone. So this is a book from Linka Newman, and it is called Vildmarks Gensere. Yeah, it's a book with color work, just color work projects. But this pattern is not available as an individual pattern, so I can buy. And I had to buy the book. I think she has another version because it's the sweater on the cover. She has another version of this sweater, but it's more chunky. Yeah, and the sweater name is Hoopy. Yes, and I'm making exactly the colors that you see here on the book. I'm using yarns from Hillesvåg. I'm sorry, obsessively, I need to take my camera just to make sure that she is recording because she's not loving me today. That's for sure. Not, no, also the microphone does not love me today, but that's okay. I don't even know when I've made this progress. So one evening I cast on one sleeve and I work the color work part, and then everything else I've knitted in the car while traveling with my husband. So that's happened with the first sleeve. And then there was a knitting event, and I was there to see the vendors and the yarns. And I thought I need a mindless project because I don't know, in my mind I was sitting with other people and knitting, which never happened. But that's another story for another moment. And then for especially for that, I've started a body because I've said that I've said to myself that I just need a stockinette stitch project. And as you can imagine, this is a bottom-up construction. So I have one sleeve. I'm more than halfway through the body. I think I don't need to work more than approximately another 10 centimeters. The sample I tried on in the store, it had a very long body. I had to fold a lot inside, and because of that I got only 350 grams of the main yarn, which I really hope it will be enough because I just approximate in my head. I don't know exactly if I have the right amount of yarn, but this is a yarn I can get if not enough, so I'm not worried about it. Yeah, and I'm using, so this is the main color. This is Varde, and this is the color 6621. 116, and it's a dark brown as a main color. And my contrasting color, I could not say what are. I had the number of the colors in a small paper that the lady from Hillersville gave to me, because these are 100 grams, but if you open, you can separate. So they are 50 and 50, and she gave me 50 grams of each, but not the labels. So I don't know exactly what colors are these, but these are my contrasting color. And I have to say that this is such a fun project. It's unbelievable. And how fast it knits. So, yeah, without even thinking, I'm doing a colorwork sweater, which I never planned to do. And I'm making the size, I think I'm making the size 2. Just let me see the numbers. Yeah, I'm making the size 2. There are 2, 4, 5 sizes. Yeah. Yeah, and I got 350 grams of yarn, because here it's saying that for my size you need 450. I might have not enough. I might not have enough yarn. But that's a bridge I will cross when time comes. Yeah, so this is a project, a new project I have on my needles since the last time. And I have just another one. I started this as a backup for my knitting in the car. So we are traveling to Romania by car, and it will be like a 4-day driving. And I thought, okay, I have a lot of projects that I can take with me, but most of them, they need a lot of thinking, you know. And I thought I just need to have something just in case I cannot concentrate and make cables. And lately I didn't work stockinette stitch, and I was craving about something in stockinette stitch. So I want so much a raglan sweater with a beautiful neckline in a fingering weight yarn. Something light, something I can take over a short sleeve dress, but something that I won't feel I'm toasting myself in it, you know? And I decided to start my own thing. Hopefully it will work great. It's nothing to show yet, but I wanted you to see how beautiful this Isair Highland wool in the color stone it is. It's stunning. I like this yarn so much, and this is my progress. I think I need to work at this today and tomorrow in the evening, just to bring this in the round, because it will be much easier in the car. So I've started first back and forth, and together with the increases I'm doing for the raglan, I am also increasing a number of stitches at the end of every row. And then when joining in the round, I will cast on more stitches at once, and I will change the beginning of row, because the beginning of row cannot be in the middle. Yeah, and I think in the middle of the front, I think I will change the beginning of row in the middle of the back, because before separating the sleeves from the body, I want to work a lot of short rows, and it will be much easier if my beginning of row starts at the middle of the back. Yeah, so that's the plan. And oh God, I love this stone color so much. It's more than beige. It's beautiful. It has so many shades in it. I really find Isair Highland wool as a very, very interesting yarn with an interesting color palette. Yeah, it's amazing. And I cannot wait to see how this will look in stockinette stitch. I think it will bring the beauty of this yarn. It will elevate. It will not elevate. Oh my God. I think a stockinette stitch will show how beautiful this yarn is to simplify the things. Um, the downside part of the project is that it is a project on 3mm needles, but I don't mind. I really, really don't mind. So this, I think it will be such a perfect car project. Yeah. And I think that's all my active projects. Of course, I have a couple more on my needles, but they are on hold just until I'm finishing all the active projects I have, and I talked about them today. Yeah, I cannot believe I am at the end of this episode after so much struggle to make this video. It's unbelievable. I will take a break until August because, again, we are visiting families, and I think it's nice to have a break. I hope this episode will inspire you, and I hope you won't be so disappointed for so many breaks I had, and so many change regarding my clothes without planning them. But yeah, I don't know what happened with the microphone, with the phone, with it. It was very difficult to do this episode. So if I managed to upload this, I am so happy, because if not, of course I can make another episode in August, but there would be so much to talk about it. And I think for some people it can be overwhelming. Although I love so much to do this, I'm also need to think to you. Yeah, so that's all I have active and out of my needles. I'm very happy with the progress I've made. I think this is a huge amount of knitting, a huge amount of yarn, and yeah, I need to finish this and to start to slow down a little bit, and to learn that I don't need to cast on everything that is out there in the community. Although I'm not doing this, it feels like I'm doing this. But I so much enjoy when I'm finishing something and I'm wearing my knits. And this is my excuse, because indeed I wear them. But yeah, we shall see how this will go on in the future. But I will stop here for today. Thank you so much for deciding to join me and to listen about me listen to me talking about my projects. I hope you have something wonderful on your needles, and it will be so nice to find out what are you knitting, to find a little bit of inspiration. And I hope you will have a wonderful summer ahead, doing things that makes you happy, that brings you joy. And I really hope from the bottom of my heart to stay safe and healthy. And I will see you next time. Until then, take care and happy knitting. Bye bye.